Then, true to form, he appeared, as usual, at the very last minute. Finally, the race of the season was ready for the off. First time past the stands, it was Castellotti and Musso in close formation. Behind them came Schell in the van wall, Fangio, Taruffi, Bera, Moss and Trantignon. Castellotti and Musso fought a torrid Italian battle at the front until both threw tire treads on the banking and lost time changing wheels. So Moss now led, with Harry Schell in the van wall at times brilliantly ahead of Fangio for second place. More tyre trouble for Ferrari as De Portago throws a left-hand rear tread. He had to retire with damaged suspension. So after 10 laps, the order was Fangio, Moss and Schell just hanging on in his van wall. The van wall was very stable at high speed on the long straights between the bankings, but its suspension was having difficulty coping with the bumps on that high concrete bank. First Taruffi, then Trantignon retired with damaged suspension, leaving Tony van der Waal with just one car, that of Schell. But how Schell was motoring, he took the lead on lap 11, as yet another Ferrari, Collins's this time, threw a tread. Halford had engine trouble with his private Maserati. Then Moss led again, with Collins behind him, a lap down after his tyre stop. And another blow for Ferrari. Fangio had damaged a steering arm and had to sit on the pit wall, waiting for another car whilst his was being repaired. During a short rain shower, Musso pitted his Ferrari, but refused to hand it over to Fangio. At half distance, Moss led Schell by over 12 seconds, with Musso third and Collins fourth. The Connaughts of Flockhart and Fairman were now unobtrusively climbing the leaderboard. At this point, Collins pitted again and, in an act of unparalleled sportsmanship, handed over his car and with it the World Championship to Fangio. This unselfish act indeed also cost Pete second place in the championship, as well as the outside possibility of winning it. Slow motion photography showed the van wall in action on the south banking. Fangio, now in Collins's car, number 26, broke the lap record twice and hung on to Collins's third place. With 10 laps to go, Moss still led. He was followed by Castellotti, who had rejoined at the back of the field in Fangio's repaired car. And then high drama. Moss ran out of fuel. Piotti, in his private Maserati, nudged the back of Moss's 250F and pushed him sportingly back to the pits. Meanwhile, Musso took the lead. Moss, refueled and leaving the pits, set a new lap record, was promptly slowed by his mechanics because they had seen that the rear tires on the Maserati were almost bald. Da Silva Ramos's Gordini lay abandoned at the south curve, as it had done for most of the race, sidelined with engine trouble. Musso now had a 25-second lead, and with 5 laps to go, looked certain to win his home Italian Grand Prix. Almost unseen, the Connaughts had continued their steady progress. Fairman was up to 6th, and topped up with fuel for the last few laps. Then yet more drama for Ferrari. Musso, with an apparently invincible lead, had his steering brake, and he arrived at his pit sideways and out of control. The distraught man from Milan was out, and the entire Italian crowd appeared to be crying. Moss, incredibly, was back in the lead, but with threadbare tyres, Fangio catching him fast. With Musso out, Flockhart was now up to an incredible 3rd in the Connaught, but needed a few more litres of fuel to complete his final lap. So as he pulled away on his last lap, Moss came in the eventual winner by just 5 seconds from a fast-closing Fangio. Jack Fairman finished 5th, giving Connaught their finest hour with 2 cars in the top 6. Fangio was now confirmed world champion for the 4th time and went straight off to thank Peter Collins for his extraordinarily noble gesture. Many felt that this was Sterling's finest victory yet. His 2 wins to Fangio's 3 put him just 3 points behind him in the table. The World Championship for drivers has now been held for 7 years, and Fangio has won it 4 times. As clerk of Connaught, Fairman and Easton Gibson discussed their success with Earl Howe. Little did the Connaught boys know then that this would be their penultimate Grand Prix. This was far from their minds. They are currently the most successful British team in Grand Prix racing, but with Vanwell now showing their intentions, and with Moss and Brooks signed up for 1957, things could be different. The young Ron Flockhart, standing in at the last moment for Archie Scott Brown, had certainly acquitted himself well, finishing 3rd from a start position of 23rd out of 24 runners.